If you're a business here in Northern Virginia, you are looking for any edge you can get. But what if the biggest leak in your sales funnel, the thing that's costing you customers, isn't your marketing? What if it's just your website's loading bar? Today, we're going to dive into why website speed is one of the most important tools you have to actually turn visitors into paying customers.
So I want you to think about this for a second. Is your website, right now, actively losing you leads? I mean, really think about it. If it's slow, if it's clunky, if it's just frustrating to use, you're basically putting up a wall right when a potential customer is trying to decide if they can trust you and take that next step.
And that right there is the biggest mindset shift we all need to make. We've got to stop thinking about website speed as some tech problem, a job for the IT department. We need to start seeing it for what it really is, a huge business and sales problem.
Look at it this way. On one hand, you could see a slow site as just a technical problem, something to add to a to-do list. But on the other hand, for your customer, it's a business problem. It's friction. It's a frustrating, broken journey that makes them leave. That friction is a wall between their interest and your sales, and it goes up the instant they click on your site. Okay, so how much damage can a few seconds of delay really do? Well, the impact on your bottom line is probably more direct than you think. Let's get into the actual numbers.
Wow, look at this. This number comes from research by Portent, and it's pretty staggering. Websites that load in just 1 second can see an average conversion rate of almost 40%. Think about that. Every tiny fraction of a second you can shave off your load time is a direct investment in your sales.
And this chart just paints the picture perfectly. You can see how conversions just plummet as the load time goes from 1 second to 3 to 5. Every single second you make a potential customer wait is literally costing you business. The connection is just undeniable.
So what's actually happening when people wait? Well, a few things, and they're all bad for business. First, a lot of people just give up and leave. That's what we call a bounce. The folks who do stick around, they're less likely to even read your key information. Their trust in you starts to drop because, let's be honest, a slow site feels unprofessional. And mobile users, they get frustrated and are gone in a flash. The end result is simple: fewer calls and fewer leads in your inbox.
Now, a lot of business owners hear website speed and immediately think SEO. And yeah, it's true, Google cares about it, but its most powerful effect isn't on some algorithm. It's on the real human beings visiting your website every single day. You might have heard this fancy term, core web vitals. All that really means is that Google is trying to measure what it feels like to actually use your site. Does it load fast? Can you click on things right away? Does the page jump all over the place? It's all about rewarding websites that give people a good, smooth experience.
But here's the key takeaway, and I want you to really hear this. Forget about Google for a second. The most immediate impact of your site speed is on that visitor's first impression. A fast, snappy website feels credible and professional. A slow, clunky one feels, well, it just doesn't. And that first impression can matter more than anything else.
All right, so let's connect all the dots here. How does a faster website actually translate into what we all want, right? More qualified leads for our business. It's really just a simple chain reaction. When your site is faster, more people stick around. Because they're sticking around, more of them actually see your phone number or your contact form. Mobile users, who are a huge chunk of local search traffic, have a great experience and are way more likely to call. All of a sudden, that traffic you worked so hard to get from SEO is way more valuable. And underneath it all, your business just feels more trustworthy. Okay, let's bring this all back home. Why is this so incredibly critical for businesses operating right here in our competitive Northern Virginia market?
Just think about your customers for a minute. It doesn't matter if they're looking for a contractor in Arlington, a law firm in Fairfax, or a med spa in Alexandria. They are busy people with tons of options. They just expect a fast, easy digital experience. And if you don't give it to them, you can bet your competitor down the street will.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. In a market this competitive, every single visitor is hard-won. You're paying for them with your time, your marketing budget, your SEO efforts. You just can't afford to waste that investment by greeting them with a slow website.
Never forget, you are in a digital dogfight for every single click in places like Arlington, Alexandria, Fairfax, and McLean. When a potential customer lands on your site, a timer starts. You have just seconds to prove you're the right choice before they click away. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now, what about the solution? What are the usual suspects that slow a website down, and how do we actually build a faster, stronger digital front door for our business? You know, it's often not one single big thing, but a bunch of little things piling up. The most common performance killers are stuff like giant image files that haven't been compressed, way too many plugins slowing things down, a heavy, bloated website theme, and frankly, cheap, slow web hosting. Each one adds a bit of delay, and together they can absolutely kill your conversions.
But at the end of the day, the goal here is super simple. It's not about chasing some perfect score on a speed test. It's about creating a genuinely faster, smoother experience for your visitors so that more of them are inspired to pick up the phone and become your next customer.
And look, if you want to get your site's performance dialed in and start turning more of that traffic into real leads, this is a solvable problem. USA Marketing Pros specializes in helping businesses right here in Northern Virginia build fast, professional websites that are built from the ground up to convert more visitors into customers. You can learn more about how they get it done at usamarketingpros.com.